Brought to you by YourQuote, an app that makes you write and perform.
My father loved poetry. He couldn't write a word of it, but the walls of my childhood house were decked with works of poets from all over the world. Whether it was the Syrian master Adonis or the Polish genius Wisława Szymborska, he had an enviable collection. So it was no surprise that I too became fond of poetry, so much so that by the time I was 17, I read more poetry than my course books. When I was 10, I used to learn Hindustani classical music. Every weekend, my father would drive me to and from my music class. Somehow, he had found a recording of T.S. Eliot reciting Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, and it being one of his favorite poems, he put the recording on in the car during those drives. Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky like a patient etherized upon a table. The mixing up of my father's pretend deep voice mimicking Eliot's accent while the actual Eliot recited his work in an almost vapid, careless tone still rings in my ears sometimes. 37 years after those drives, I came back to the childhood house. It wasn't much of a home to me. It was just brick and concrete. I hadn't been here in 20 years, mostly because there was nothing to come back to. My mother had left before my 18th birthday, and my father and I couldn't stand the thought of living with each other. Yet we were biologically programmed to love each other, yet we found it excruciatingly painful to do so. So I had left without looking back. He didn't stop me either, he wanted me to go. Through the birth of my children, my success and failures as a writer, and my difficulty in all my life, I had no parents to share the journey with. I received a call from my aunt telling me about my father's funeral. They'd held it without me because they didn't think I would come. My cousin's brother had lit the pyre, which is just as well. My father had liked him more than he liked me. My father was not a rich man. He only owned this house that I was stepping into and thousands of books decking its walls. When I walked into the house, the foul smell of cigarettes and alcohol engulfed my senses. He's still here, I thought. That smell was similitude to his beard and bald head. He'd renovated the house. No longer was there even one naked wall. There were bookshelves as far as the eye could see. It didn't seem like a house. It looked like a degenerating library which was falling apart at the seams. I gently moved around the place, looking at new additions and some familiar old friends, peppered all over the wall. I looked at the old dining table still at the same place. It was covered with letters and papers and envelopes. A big yellow envelope was lying in the middle of all the small white ones. I pulled it out and was surprised to find my name on the top. I opened the envelope to find 4 sheets of paper. 3 of them were stapled together and 1 was separate. The 3 collected ones were legal documents which looked like my father's will. It said that he'd left the house to my cousin's sister. I'd shrugged. It didn't matter to me. But another line read out that he'd left all his books to me. I rolled my eyes. Of course, he'd burdened me with the task of caring of the thousands of books he'd collected over his lifetime. I set the documents aside and began to read the 4th separate paper. It was in his gibberish handwriting. After reading the letter, I folded it and tucked it inside my bag. In that moment, I felt like I didn't need to read it again anymore. My family had decided to hold a memorial service for him. They'd requested me to speak. When I did get up to speak at the service, I didn't have any idea what I'd say, but I still stood in front of the filled room. My father loved poetry, and because of him, I love poetry. We hadn't seen each other for 20 years prior to his death. Ours wasn't an easy relationship. We both knew the demons inside of me were carefully handcrafted by him. Since the day I was born till the day he died. Even when we didn't see each other, my father constructed my person. But he loved poetry, and so do I. I'd like to read out one of my favorite poets' poems for him. Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone, prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone, silence the pianos and with a muffled drum, bring out the coffin, let the mourners come. Let aeroplanes circle moaning overhead, scribbling on the sky the message, he is dead. Put great bows around white necks of the public doves. Let the traffic policemen wear white black cotton gloves. He was my north, my south, my east and west, my working week and my Sunday rest, my noon, my midnight, my talk, my song. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The stars are not wanted now. Put out everyone. Pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. Pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood, for nothing now can ever come to any good. I silently walked from the center of the room to the back of it. I could hear one of my father's old friends speaking, but I couldn't decipher what. Nonetheless, I kept walking. I walked out of the building and stood at the sidewalk when my car was parked. The clouds seemed to have aligned and slowly it began raining. I laughed. Maybe he hated what I'd said so much that he'd decided to make it pour. I shut my eyes and faced the night sky. It was 27th September. My father had died exactly 10 days ago. I opened my car and sat, locking the doors behind me. I rummaged through the bag and took out the letter. I read it again and again and again, till I memorized each letter, each punctuation mark. The rain had stopped and I was getting frantic calls from my family who were worried as to where I was. I told my husband not to come with me, and so he was at home with our children. I read the letter one last time before tearing it into tiny pieces. I rolled down the window of the car and threw the paper out. A deep sigh escaped my mouth. My father may have been the demon inside of me, but he was the angel who gave me my words. And I didn't need the letter as a constant reminder of the difficulties we faced with loving each other. I wanted to remember the drives through and from those classes, and that was enough for him to still be alive for me. I put the key in the ignition and drove home. Thank you.